Hey guys, I'm Ethan Moore from Stockholm Supply. We're here with Marv, who is a local wood churner, and he's going to help us today churn this oak platter. Now we're going to be using the Envoy lathe on the outboard capacity, so we're not over top of the bed at all here. So yeah, what I'll probably do, Marv, if it's okay, can you talk about a little bit of what we're going to do, how we'll do it, and kind of some of the challenges we'll face with this?
Okay. This is a large piece for a platter.
Sure.
I think that it's on the excessive side. Do you know if it's 24?
It's like 23 and a half, so just
Okay,
under 24,
so
yeah.
It's a large piece, and it is only an inch and maybe a quarter thick.
Yep.
So we're up against some issues of movement, potentially, as we push our tools into the cut. We'll have to go slow and we'll have to go light. But I think it's very doable. It's an interesting piece, and it would certainly make a nice job on a record lathe.
Sure.
Because if you can show people that, you know, a lathe of this capacity can actually churn something this large, that's going to be quite worthwhile. So we'll get started with it and feel out how it turns, and it might even become a platter.
We'll see. Now this is actually a piece of wood. I'm glad you mentioned that a little bit, Marv. Like, this is actually a chunk of my old countertop that I used in a previous video when I was sanding with the Flatmaster drum sander, which I'll link up top. So this originally was countertop, then I used it to sand to show how the Flatmaster worked. Now we're going to use the same piece to show how the lathe works.
Okay, I want to stand back out of the line of fire here with a piece this large and get a comfort zone going with it. Once I know that the piece is stable and I'm okay with the feel, then I can get in front of it if I need to. We're all set.
And you got the controls moved over here. That's just a more comfortable spot from where you're churning at the moment.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about this lathe. We've got all kinds of capacity for where we put our controls, and that's really important, so we have safety in mind and convenience. Okay, let's see what we got.
Now I know I'll get questions about this, Marv. Do you know what RPM that is right now?
It's sitting at about 450, so it's pretty low. And I've got a bit of flat spots. We'll get that worked out. Take a look at it.
So how is it churning? I know it's very old and
It's quite brittle.
yeah.
There's some spots here that are punky, and we'll try to turn those away so that we get down to raw wood. But it's not bad. Nice and quiet, I like that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. How's the power feel to you?
Oh, it's easy. It's there's lots of torque. There's no indication of it slowing down.
So in that knot, that's oh, we got rid of a lot of that punky area, eh?
Yeah, that cut away. So we're good there.
Is there a reason why sometimes you push and sometimes you pull when you're cutting?
You get a better cut with a push cut,
Better cut with a push cut.
but it isn't always a practical approach, because you also might run into more catches with a push cut because
Okay.
you're running into rough wood.
Okay.
So you try to get that roughness out before you do any push cutting.
So you try to get it as round as possible.
That isn't the theory, that's just the way I do it.
That's just the way you do it. No,
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So,
What RPM is that at now?
that's about 7.
So 700. So now that you got a flat, what's next?
We'll decide how big of a foot we want on it,
Okay.
and because of the size of it, I would think you'd want it.
with this kind of wood and with mass that we have on each side, we can put a mortise in here that'll be quite strong. There's no real risk of it ripping out. It won't split this piece. I want to know how big I need to make this
Your mortise.
and that gives me an idea there. And then I've got to allow for the jaws to get inside. So that is the outside diameter approximately of that.
So this will be the base, that ring there.
That ring will be the base.
And then that's your mortise that you're holding the
This
chuck
is the
with.
mortise, and this is just recessed enough so that it sits only on that.
And are you gonna remove the center chunk or just leave that be?
That will probably stay.
So yeah, that's, I guess, the nice thing about the mortise is it looks like it's just part of the foot.
Yeah, you just make it a decorative part of the base.
Love it.
So that'll open nicely in there when I'm ready. I'm not ready yet. I just want to make sure I got that figured out.
And those are the 130 millimeter dovetail jaws. So you just added a little bit of flavor to that bottom there.
Just to decorate it a bit.
I like it. So we got the platter off here. Is that? Oh yeah. The hottest setting is towards the top. Yeah. There you go. So we're just gonna heat up this block. Do we need a screwdriver or anything? You think?
We'll need something to try, yeah.
We got our. So do you normally mount the chucks before you?
Either or.
Either or. So okay. There's no preferred method.
No, as long as you make sure that you push against the center, you don't push on the side.
Yeah. So what's the plan of attack here, Marv?
Well, I'm just debating about putting a lip on it.
Okay.
I think it would look good. So let's go on that premise, and then if we don't like it, we can always turn it away.
That's a good point.
Once we turn it away, we can't put it back.
It's harder. I neglected to put my smock back on. That's okay.
Take a picture of yourself.
I know I should.
looks like a platter, doesn't it?
Looks like a platter to me.
Okay. Then we'll pretend it is.
Could do is make a little bowl in there for dip.
So Marv didn't like the back profile here, so he's just doing a little bit of work in the back. Yeah. All right, Marv, I think you got it all finished off here and sanded. To me, it looks really, really good. And that's your first, yeah.
I think that we've got a platter, and
Well, like you said before, it definitely looks a lot different than when we started.
if you have any wine and cheese right now, we could have find out whether it works or not.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So,
and then you got a little spot for dip in the middle.
Yeah, we're going to leave that spot there so that we can put a nice bowl in there, and it's got lots of room for chips, shrimp. So I think it turned out reasonable considering that we didn't do it before, and secondly, it was a pretty dry piece.
Yes.
It wanted to chip more than it wanted to cut, and my tools were sharp, so that wasn't the problem. But I think that considering everything, we have got a result,
Very nice.
and I believe some finish would really set it off. But if you want to keep it natural, that looks good too.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I don't know what we'll do yet, but we'll make a decision. Now, on the Regent Lathe here, what did you think about turning on the outboard?
Right now, I would say that this is a much smoother lathe than most I've worked on.
Okay.
And I like the power, I like the steadiness of it, it's very stable. Getting used to the adjustments, it's upside down for me.
Sure. But that was handy when you were working on the backside, which was kind
It was. And I liked the flexibility of it. So basically we've got the back side of it is a little rougher. And this, we took a little more care with the front because we're going to have the food on the top.
And you found, because this was such a hard and brittle piece, the carbide almost worked a little better on it?
The carbide seemed to work well on it, and often on really hard things and issue type of wood, it does help to have carbide. And we did use your carbide a bit too, and they worked well. So basically, I think we're okay with it.
Well, I'm thrilled.
Are you okay with it?
Very okay. Couldn't be more okay.
Quarter.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Marv. This is really, really much appreciated. And
thanks for the invite, and I enjoyed doing it.
Yeah.
I appreciate your letting me try the lathe. Love it. I think it's just a super smooth lathe, and I'd recommend it highly. And I have 2 people.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yep. And thanks for being here and supplying us with all our needs.
Well, you're very welcome. Yeah, if anybody else has any questions, you can email us at info@stockmansupply.com or just comment on the video. Thanks again, Marv.
Okay, you're welcome. Thanks, Ethan.